Week one report of the Douglas. I'm your host, Bobby Moravia, with Max Sutton.
We're here, week one.
Max, another season. Not ideal playing situations yesterday.
Thank God the temperature in here is fine, because outside yesterday, wow, it was freezing, bitter cold. But we'll talk all about it.
A lot of cancellations in Major League Baseball, but the YMSL, the show must go on.
That's what they say. Not everybody was happy about it. And you know what? Whether you agreed, you didn't agree, games were played, and we're here to talk about it. So let's jump right in.
Well, as we talked about, why don't we start off at always one of our favorite fields, Fireman's East.
Okay, you want to start? Is this because it's your favorite field, or it's just your favorite story?
Well, we always like to start off, but what story was there anyway? Anything major?
Okay, nothing crazy. I know there was a couple of good ball players there, and it happened to be there was a pitching debut.
Yes.
In the YMSL of none other than Jamila Abdul Wahab Malak. And boy, was there a lot of talk before this in all the baseball chats, whether it was these captain chats or everybody's questioning, putting their over-unders, how many walks, how many strikeouts, how long he's going to last, when is he going to get pulled, is he going to get pulled, is he going to be an instant sensation? Well, I can't say all questions were answered, but we got an early look at it. And I actually, for a rare time, had the benefit of seeing a regular season game. So I actually came over there because we played game one and whatever. So I saw some of the games. So from what I saw, in defense to Jimmy off the bat, we know, I don't want to keep saying it, and it's going to sound boring, the playing conditions were not ideal. We get it. Guys are better fielders usually than they were. Understood. Your reflexes were not as fast. We got it. But the field behind Jimmy in general did not look good. Defensively, the actual field was fine. Talking about his defense behind him, I'm not going to say let him down, but I think for the most part, from what I saw, did let him down. So
a couple. Well, first of all, as expected with every week in the YMSL, there are several key players missing, and they had Albert Roditi was not there, which is a main
and they knew that when they picked him up. But I hear that.
So, but as we mentioned, the playing conditions were not great, so it's really hard to gauge. But what we did see, what I saw a lot, was just the command wasn't there. Which
so his fastball, people were telling me on the side, I didn't face him yet in practice game, I did, but they said his fastball is close to Navy speed.
Yeah.
But if you're only landing 1 out of 10 for a strike,
it doesn't mean anything.
Right.
I mean, he throws very hard. He, he did on the day strike out 11.
Nice. Okay.
But walk 10. You know what I'm saying?
So is that worth it?
It's he did. The bottom of the order. He pretty much struck out a lot of guys. Although he struck out Jordy, he struck out.
So he had some guys.
He did strike out.
Okay. And again, but if you're going to lose, another thing that was told to me by a few people. I'm not going to say names. I don't want to throw anybody under a bus, but pace of play. If he's behind every guy 3-1, and you're waiting, and he's the two Malaks are talking another language, and everybody else in the field it doesn't know what's going on. I mean, there was like a disconnect a little bit.
Actually, the YMSL might have to institute a visit mound. No,
mound visit. Okay,
there was several dozen per inning timeout.
Right. So Major Leagues is 6 now, so we got to do something about that. We'll see. Okay. By the way, quick shout out. I know I was in the middle of nowhere. By the way, my guys did great too, but the new umpires are all great.
Especially at the A's Orioles matchup.
Beautiful.
Great umps.
Yeah. So
actually, ironically, the umps were not even in a rush to leave.
That's a great sign.
Yeah.
If yesterday was not a rush to leave, then
they were like, let's play the second game.
Right,
let's go. You've a lot of credit to.
Welcome to these new guys. I don't know all their names, but good to have new guys aboard. It's always good to mix it up. We got some of the new, some of the familiar, so we got a good mix. That's great to know.
So why don't we talk about the game a little bit now? It's
game one. I wasn't there, but I did hear it was sort of a blowout.
Yeah.
Right. Jimmy just didn't have it game one, and Jackie Towell's team, looking at stats, again, everything was a little bit miscued because the wind on this field, and I went to it, was blowing. Was it blowing out? It was blowing everywhere.
It was blowing out.
It was blowing out, but I'm saying it was blowing out into the side, into the left. I saw a shot by Albert Zolta. He had a shot. Holy cow. It took into a wind stream and just kept going.
Well, not for anything. Kushner almost went to the parking lot.
Kushner, wow.
Yes.
Well, we'll talk
And
about
then
it.
even another more bizarre, Max Shadid clocked.
Wow, I heard that Jackie Towell actually framed the picture of Nathan Kushner. It's on top of his bed. He's loving Nathan Kushner. My goodness. But so game one, it was a ho-hum win. Jackie Towell's team with Max Shadid on the mound. They had veteran presence in Maurice Haber, who's not a captain, and it might have been the greatest thing. He came out hitting.
We talked about it. I think it's the best thing that ever happened to Maurice. We like it so much in the committee that we're going to permanently not make him a captain because he played so good yesterday. So
he played great. He had 6 hits,
7 RBIs,
unbelievable.
No pressure. He didn't open his mouth.
Playing first base, he's happy, likes his team.
And a great team and a great lineup. Really.
And by the way, may I add, they're missing David Rishti yesterday.
Yes.
And he's a real bat in the lineup. He's a real player. So it's a real team. DT is locked down at third. Jordy looked great at shortstop from what I saw.
He did. He looked good. And Max looked really good at it. Back to his pitching mode. He's back to his old self. So
now, again, hitting wise, it's hard to say, but I saw some of the main hitters didn't like. Jordy didn't have a great day. I didn't see the ball off his bat. Might have hit a couple balls harder than I don't know. Albert Zolta had 2 hits on the day, both home runs.
He did strike out twice also.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, 2 or 3 times actually.
Wow, interesting. So Jimmy Malach did have some goods.
Yeah.
So
he definitely has goods.
Back on the Jimmy thing, quick. Nobody doubts his stuff. He probably has better stuff. What do they say? That's how they say it. Stuff, right? He has dirty stuff, but if you can't, control it up there, and you can't put it together, it's going to be a problem, and it's a challenge.
Well, Koufax in his early days, the batters were scared to get into the plate.
They might get hit.
Yeah. So, someone 100 miles an hour, but they don't know where the ball was going.
Someone told me they should make with Jimmy and Nathan Vitesh. Maybe if it hits you, you go to first because it really hurts.
Oh, yeah.
But there were guys. Ali was freezing cold. I saw him. He was wearing 17 every shirt from every year that he played on underneath him. You could see every color.
Yeah, he had a rough day at the plate also.
Yeah, he had a tough day. It was cold. He was not enjoying the cold. I guess, once you pass the age of 40, it does get a little harder. He's still unbelievable. And again, their infield, it's week 1. It's sort of, some guys, it's their first time picking up a glove. Yeah. Not good to say that, but some of them is true. Ralph Matut's got to get acclimated to third base. Could he do it? I think he could. He was close to Gold Glove at second. He's got to get acclimated. Mo Harari at second. He's got all the tools. He's got to figure it out. Yeah. Manopola up the middle is good. But from what I saw, they just were not in sync yet. Ancona, I'm sorry. What do I always say Manopola? Anyway, Loudon, welcome back to the league in right field. And then again, they had in center field Ruby Shalou. He's quiet. He's going to have to open up vocally to be a center fielder a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to take him a little while.
Take him time. And I think it'll get there. Again, you have to chalk this week up a little bit. The craziness you could throw out the window.
So now let's talk a little about Ali did come in towards the end of the game too.
He pitched.
Now, is this a one and done project or is he taking over?
A lot of bets were won. People took their money, and then we heard a very big announcement by Ali saying, "You guys are crazy. I only took the ball because I was freezing cold, and I wanted to loosen up, and I couldn't move, so I wanted the ball." So someone did retort to Ali. I'm sure if Jimmy was pitching a 1-hit shutout in a 3-0 game, you wouldn't be coming in. But there might be some truth to everything. Jimmy's going to get the ball.
But he should get the ball. Yes. I think it's ridiculous that after 100%. 1 week,
especially
the only way he's going to get better is
100%.
To keep pitching.
He's pitched in other leagues. In the night league, he tried somewhat. It was in situations that weren't so ideal. He's had some experience. I do think he's going to get better and better.
He can only get better. I mean, but so it's the question is, can he handle the pressure, the mental aspect of it?
Is his defense going to do it for him? He might have been put in a situation that's a little tough. Like, teams have 3 aspects to their team. You got pitching, defense, and offense. We know they got the offense.
Yeah.
No one's going to doubt the Jimmy Malach, Ali Marshall's team's offense. Crazy lineup. Right. Defense is a question, and pitching is a question. So, again, it's week 1. It was freezing. But that was the tale. Now, JT's team, they walked off. They took their Epsom salt baths, and they were all smiling the whole way through.
Listen, they forgot about the temperature once.
Forget about it. They're very excited, very happy. There's nothing bad to say about their team. Loving every one of their picks.
I mean, even if Ali does pitch, what do you move Jimmy to short? Like,
you could put Jimmy to short. He could do it. Jimmy definitely. He's an athletic kid. He's in shape now. He could play short.
So I personally hope he sticks around as a pitcher.
Me too.
And
I'm confident Ali has confidence in him that he's going to give him. Ali's playing the game like we stink. Jimmy's going to have the ball.
And the truth of the matter is, if he continues to grow, they could be a scary team by the
Oh, my
time week 4 or 5. And
that's for sure. That's
really,
why early in these seasons, I mean, last year was a little bit aberrational. The top two seeds ended up in the finals. Doesn't always end up that way. Teams that are 0-4, and sometimes, make these runs. It's all getting out late. So figuring things out, you do have to find wins because you don't want to fall too far behind. But figuring things out sometimes is not bad. So again, I do think Jimmy's going to get his opportunity. They deserved a lot talking because they're the question marks. There's a lot of talking on that team. Again, in JT's team to talk about enough guys came to play. Yeah. He loved his team, and he's very excited. He thinks he
did a great job drafting him and Dano. Let's not forget he's also a big part of that team.
Dano was a huge part of being a co-captain.
Yeah, really great took charge yesterday.
Yeah, and again, Steven Chaloux proved to be a first-round pick.
Yeah.
He had
great day to play yesterday.
One home run he hit is still going. The other one was a ground ball that we saw on the video that was a lucky ground ball to short. But you know what? You take what you can get, I think he had 6 hits also anyway.
So he had a huge game.
Ball comes off that man's bat. So he's real. Up the middle, he's the real deal. JT had look good.
All of Malak's pitching problems had a great day to play at 6 for 7 yesterday.
By the way, and that says a lot because a lot of pitchers say pitching takes a lot out of your hitting. He's a strong kid, and good for him. And Jimmy's still always one of the best hitters in the league. He's not the best.
So
that's that game.
Yeah, that was
a shout out. Someone counted. They said there was 15, and I don't know if they counted correctly. 15 home runs yesterday in the YMSL
record.
That probably is 15. This game alone had 2 by Chaloux, 2 by Albert Zolta, and 1 by my nephew Ike Vitesh.
Well, actually, that doesn't count because he took a bus from second to home.
He got himself around the bases. There was an oxygen tank waiting for him at the plate, but he made himself around. He hit a nice shot over the right field.
Actually, Maurice should have had one, but he lost all.
He just stopped running.
He couldn't take a third base. He got a triple.
He just stopped.
I couldn't.
It was too cold for him. He just wanted to pull up.
But
again, a lot of home runs.
I could Vitesh a nice shot, but
he really did, and he kept running. Good for him. Very happy about that. Again, they were on the short side of 2 games. We'll get into future matchups. That's going to be the most interesting one.
So now let's go to the opposite end of a completely different scenario. Great pitching matchup: Jeffrey Sackett versus Navy.
So we talked to a few guys.
Yeah. Now, as we mentioned, the wind was blowing out
over there
in the east.
Right.
Playground, completely different story, blowing in at 40, 50 miles an hour.
So I heard outfielders were playing like 10 feet away from the dirt type of thing. One thing I heard that was cute, that they said a lot of guys didn't stay on the sidelines. In between innings, they went into their cars.
Yeah.
So when a guy got a hit, instead of hearing, you heard honk, honk. Yeah. Everybody's honking their horns. Their lights were on. So it was a different type of situation. But again, it was a defensive game. I did hear everybody says, Navy pitched great. I heard Jeffrey came to pitch. Okay, he's down weight, he's in shape, and I heard he pitched really wonderful. Pitched great. Game one, the final score, Jeffrey's team won the game, I believe, right?
Well, it was 0-0, and former Raw prospect.
That's right.
Solomon Fowles.
And I must say, I'm not shocked. Which is one of the reasons that, when we took him, I knew he had power. And I know he's a future star. So to say that it happened did not shock me in the least. I didn't trade the boy.
He's screaming, "See that, Max?"
Yeah, I hope he didn't say that. But I heard he really hit a shot.
He clocked it. And, with the wind blowing in. So that was a shot.
And I heard anything hit up yesterday was like a wall.
Right.
Literally just stopped. So for him to hit it through that wind, he must have really killed it. He didn't get around the bases as fast as people envisioned him on the basketball court, because I heard Zach Ashkenazi had him out, made a great throw home.
He would have been out actually.
Well, Lewis is catching.
No, it wasn't. Lewis was out of town, out of the country. It was Irving Vitesh, but
nothing against Irving
Chapman.
Irving Chapman. Okay,
so he
because Lewis had his share of putouts last year. So.
Lewis would have sent him to.
would have had his knee pads on.
Zach could make a great throw home, and he would have had him.
Wow.
So
and the shot was hit. So I don't know if he just didn't get a good jump, or he was appreciating his shot. He dropped the bat and flipped to like Batista. I don't know if that's what happened, but I did hear he killed the ball, and it took a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, that's
big.
Inning
now, Navy's team this year is clearly, maybe people are talking to the guys here, not the same offensive team that it was last year.
No, well, he had a very strong offensive team last year. That was
so. That's when you get that one run now, especially in a day like today, and Jeffrey was pitching well. That one solo shot by Saul Fallas is huge.
Yeah.
It really is huge. Then I did hear their defense, Nathan's defense. Yeah, played well. They had Jackie Haber at second, who was great. Zach at shortstop. I heard he looked phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's his first time really starting a season in the YMSL as starting shortstop.
Yeah.
He's dabbled there, but never as the starter.
Right.
I heard he looked great. Avi Dweck is I'm not going to say the question mark because I heard he was good at short center, but he's the one guy up the middle that if Avi has a good season defensively, it could be an unstoppable force on the infield.
And Teddy Ashkenazi looked great in the outfield.
Yes,
great catch.
And shout out to the rookie, Buka Cohen.
Oh, yes. Had a couple
David
of hits
Cohen.
also yesterday.
And I was told by quite a few people he really looked good in the outfield.
Yeah.
He looks like the real deal.
Yeah. I mean, I had no doubts about him. He's a natural. He's been since he was young. So
again, Navy's on the mound. They didn't win game one, but Navy on the mound, this team is a force to be reckoned with. Alone having him there, he's a calming presence, and he's the best pitcher.
I mean, listen, knowing that he's on your team is a very relaxing feeling for the 100%. Team. So,
so they did lose game one.
They did lose.
The Jacobati team pulled out 3 more runs. I heard it was sloppy play. The 3 more runs was scored. Nothing pretty. A walk or 2, and then an error, and then there was a misplay. So again, that's the one thing that could be Navy's downfall. Not the team. They have to play defense behind.
Right.
He struck out 1 on the day, I believe. It's not a strikeouts, but he'll have his strikeouts because he's great. But it's you have to make the plays behind him.
Yeah. He also looked good yesterday. I might add. Isaac Goat Danziger.
Yes, I heard his hands look great.
In his return after a decade.
I heard he turned a double play.
Yeah. Well, he's one of the smoothest fielders out there.
I heard someone said he didn't lose a step at all. His hands looked amazing. He had smooth hands.
He played second. I'm sure he can still play short.
I was going to say, as a former shortstop, moving to second, and he didn't lose a step, and he still looks good.
Yeah.
That's a big plus for that Abadi crew. Again, and I think he got a big hit. He hit a triple or something from what I heard. I might be wrong there.
I believe also Chucky had a nice put out at the plate.
That's not unusual. The doc gets plays at the plate a lot. It's common. But now that was game 1. It was a 4-0 final.
Yeah, 4-0.
Okay, so maybe I'm not gonna say pitch bad. There was some misplays, but
that was 1-0 to go. It was 0-0 into the 5th when Solomon hit that home run to give them the 1-0 lead.
Right, but they got shut out. Yeah. Again, the wind on this field seems as though it had the biggest impact.
It did
defensively the whole day.
It did.
Okay, that's fine. Now game 2. Navy did by the way, people think he gets tired in game 2, but I think his game 2s over the end of the last year and now look at this year, sometimes it's stronger. I don't know what it is. He threw a shutout, a 2-0 shutout.
Yeah.
Not a lot of runs. Again, you can't say Jeffrey and the Jacobati team didn't play well.
Right.
2 runs, but they held that team down, and that was a script. That was really simple. I don't think you're going to get, we didn't get a full range offensively of what these teams are about because of this crazy wind, and it was so cold. I think the advantage goes more to the pitcher in general when it's that cold in the wind poaching.
For sure. Yeah. There's no question about it. I mean, they couldn't field, they couldn't grab a grounder, but I mean,
it was tough.
It was actually pretty good defense considering the circumstances.
That's true, because we'll get to my field soon. It wasn't.
So let's shoot over to Dow, which was always nice to play those back-to-back.
I love those fields. Some people say I love those fields. First I want to wish her for Ashalema. A.B. Cohen, our all-star pitcher, couldn't show because his father wasn't feeling well. Yosef Ben Zakiya. All our prayers are out to him. I hear he's doing much better, thank God. So A.B. couldn't show to the game. All will be well, and we hope to see A.B. next week, bright and early. And man, his team was missing him.
Rough start for the Indians.
If there's ever a time to say make believe it didn't happen, it's for them, because what could go wrong did go wrong for them.
Nothing worse than showing up in 40, 50 mile an hour winds without a pitcher.
Without a pitcher, and then had another guy in a hockey tournament,
Mo Mallett.
Jack Jamal's in China.
And Marty suited up.
Marty suited up. A.B. Salem forgot his scarf, so he had to run into his car, and he decided not to play. That's what they tell me. I don't know. So they had 8 players. Marty was number 9, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So it was a tough start. There was controversy on who's going to be on the mound. I mean, a past pitcher in our league that made the playoffs was Eddie Michon.
Yeah.
So everybody thought Eddie Michon. Nobody's saying he's going to throw laser beams, but we know one thing he'll do is not walk anybody and field his position.
Right.
But I don't think he wanted to be on the mound. Who was there? The troopers that were there: Svi Goldberg, Billy Mizrahi.
Actually, Svi pitched the a couple times in this league.
Yeah, he did. He actually did. I remember, but not in successful teams and stuff. Just as being a trooper type of thing. So A.B. Dweck, I think
Did he ever? I don't remember him.
No, I don't think this is his rookie debut on the mound.
You know,
his debut on the mound.
I couldn't believe when I saw him have the ball. I mean, it was just.
It was a little shocking. It was almost like the other team looked at it as, okay, they don't want to win. Like, I feel like if Eddie took the ball, maybe there would have been. I'm not saying they would have won. The odds would, it was stacked against them.
Yeah,
but maybe they would have had more of a shot. I'm just throwing it out there. That's what their team was telling me. A.B. Saka's team. I'm just telling you that.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just the first three batters couldn't find the plate.
That's a problem. That's rough.
Expected. I can't blame the kid.
No. You give him credit for actually, going for it. Sometimes
did he even last the whole game? I don't even know.
I don't even know. I mean, the final score was 19-4, I think.
17-2.
17, something crazy.
I just know,
but notable shout outs. Joey Tobias, Robert Tobias, sorry, Joey's son, was 4 for 4 in his rookie debut. But just to talk side, I did hear there was a misplayed ball in left field. It was the only ball he had. Again, the winds were crazy, and they have no question. They're not worried about him. But it's something that people were saying, oh, maybe the rookie in the outfield is not as locked down as we thought. But they do have Nathan Batesh.
Yeah, I don't think that's. I don't think that's going to be an issue. I'm just trying to see the stats. Some of these.
Well, he went 4 for 4. I know A.B. Saka clocked the ball for a triple himself. Bub Jamal, I heard, looked great.
Bub looked amazing yesterday.
I heard he played a great right field, and I heard he hit the ball hard, man. He was great.
Yeah, a little surprising. Bub went a little late this year for some reason.
People were a little bit down on Bub last year. There was like 2 famous plays that maybe people are talking about that landed, but Bub's a great player. I've played with him, and he's fast, and if he's hitting the ball well, we know he can play the position well. So that was one. A notable announcement, I'll say. A rookie, late blooming rookie, Charles Harari, came to the field. But he had a little bit of, we'll say, a boo-boo. He came in his tennis shoes. So I think off the bat, there was a couple of players on his team.
Stan Smiths were.
He gave him like cross-eyed looks. So you came to the field, it's 40 degrees, it's raining, and you're not wearing cleats. And he's like, take it easy. I heard he has a great arm, and it'll be fun. He's going to be their third baseman. Is it a question mark? I guess you have to say it's somewhat of a question mark. It's a rookie. I'm confident in the kid. I seen him. He's a big, strong guy.
Yeah.
And
how did he do with the plate yesterday?
I think he could hit. He had 2 hits.
Oh,
I mean,
big guy,
there's only 9 guys in their field. The middle was wide open, but I heard he looks good. Swings a nice bat, and he's going to be their third baseman.
I'm very high on that team. I love the camaraderie in that team. I think it's a great mix.
They'll have a nice deep lineup.
Yeah.
Maybe no home run hitters type of thing, no big boppers, but a complete lineup between Marishama and Jaime. Again, but the question marks, I'd say, would be Charles at third and Robert Tobias.
Yeah, I'm not worried about Robert Tobias.
Not worried at all either.
He's a natural athlete. I don't think that. I think just the
that
situation.
Was just little chirping I heard, that's all.
With that team, yes, I mean, AB's team is very, very solid. Again, would they have scored 17 with AB Cohen? They're probably not, but,
Well, you know what? We'll find out. They have a game 2 to be played.
They have to make up the
AB should be there.
And
so that being said, we'll find out in game 2. But game 1, again, you got it. You can't really talk much about the game. John Eliezer gave his all. I think he had 2 hits himself, but it was a game you have to toss out the window if you're on the losing side.
And Martin Jamal actually saw some action there.
That's right.
73 years old.
He pulled out the wooden bat.
Yeah.
He had his glove, and he played some first base.
And he put out. And according to Jackie Eshko, is the oldest player in history to make a put out.
I would say he's the oldest player in American history to make a put out under 40 degrees. God bless him in the rain. So he's a real trooper. Marty's the man. They'll figure it out. They just have to have.
Yeah, they have to have their full squad. I mean, listen, Mo Mal is not the top 2 or your top 3 picks are not there.
I just hope their team is all on the same page. That's all. They started people questioning the team, and now you start like this.
Yeah, it's not a good way to start.
Right. You have to hope they all come saying, all right, it was 1 game, big deal. We got a good team. Let's go.
I mean, I think the fact that game 2 was canceled was almost like a victory.
Oh, my goodness. They should have been dancing.
Cigars.
It's unbelievable because it was almost an automatic
for sure. It was
sweep. So they did get a break, and you know what? That's the way it works.
Yeah, listen.
You get a break, you get a break. To my field.
So let's shoot over to the 20 feet away.
So 20 feet away, it felt like we were in Colorado because the balls were flying, and on other
fields. Started, it was like 4-4 in the first.
That's right. My team put up 4 runs right away. and it was legit like a back and forth seesaw affair.
I mean, talking about missing guys, two key guys.
Yeah, so,
By the way, if anybody has seen Harry Braha, please call 1-800.
No, they were afraid. Good thing there's no more, paper milk cartons. But he's had a sighting. He's back.
Yeah, okay.
He's back, and he's doing well. He's feeling better. I think he had a Z-Pack, whatever. But he'll be okay. He'll be okay. All taken care of in the
Mo Casson also.
Yeah, so Mo Casson's in China.
Yeah.
And
you knew he wasn't coming.
Yeah, we knew he wasn't coming. Harry was a no-show, but like I said, we took care of it. But again, missing those two guys from my team it's a tough start.
Yeah.
Two big guys in my lineup and two big infielders for me. Thank God we have a pretty deep team.
So how'd you replace him? You put
Ruby Saka went up the middle, short center, which he did last year.
He was great. Center.
And Isaac Mino Dueck was in right. And I had Svivolinski, rookie. Svivolinski played second.
And who played third?
Third was Salim. He's going to be.
Oh, so he was there anyway. So you had the.
Oh, we're good. Mo Casson's going to be my second baseman a lot. So my left side was intact, and Ruby Saka is fine up the middle.
Oh, he could play any position.
Oh, he's great. He's very versattle, and I gotta say, he had a good bat yesterday.
That was a nice trade you made.
Yeah, it worked out for us. It made us a little bit more.
A lot more depth. And you could plug. You have a lot of guys you could plug in
different spots.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I did it. So now this game was, again, I know the team against us, they came in, again, ABJ was dying to play. We know it, and we got there. The field was wet. The outfield was slick. The winds were swirling, and there were some guys that were just flat out freezing. And it was cold. I mean, it was cold for everybody. It might have been colder on our field. I think the wind was like wild on our field.
Yeah.
And you hit a ball in the air, everything was it was like a wind stream. We had quite a few home runs. I think there was like 5 home runs on our field between Eshko, Sonny Shalom hit a solo shot opposite field, and the ball flew. Michael Sabon Solomon clocked one, and I went back to back with Michael Solomon, so that was fun. And that was 4, and Erwin Cohen hit a home run as well.
Wow.
So there was a lot of home runs. It was, again, the final score was 15-12. To go through the whole game, you need about an hour. Nobody's getting that, but we were up 4-0. They tied it up at 7-4. We went up 8-7. They went up 9-8. We went up 10-8. It ended up being 14-12. I will say 2 key defensive plays. Again, I'm going to tip my cap, and it sounds funny in a 15-12 game, to both Ralph Tuna Sutton and Leo Casson.
Ralph Tuna, obviously, he looked at the forecast. He thought we were playing in South Florida.
Yes, he saw the wrong forecast.
Came in shorts, no.
Out of his mind. He came in shorts, but he changed by the second inning. He was the guy who forgot his glove, by the way.
That was him.
It was him. So, yeah, he did put back on his pants, which nobody could believe he saw his legs. He took a couple shots, by the way, also. The ball was extra hard. Guys hit the ball up the middle and hit him, and it didn't feel good.
Well, right on skin also.
Yeah, exactly. And the ball was extra hard because of the cold weather, too. Now, the way the game worked, there was so many hard things to talk about. ABJ was striking the ball. I don't remember his stat line, but Eshko was striking the ball. Irwin was hitting the ball well. Jacob Jigga Jamal.
I heard Jacob Cohen had a big day.
Jacob Cohen got on base quite a few times. Yeah. Now, a few standouts that I'd like to say defensively, even though it was not a defensive day.
Actually, ABJ had a big day also.
He did. I remember ABJ was in the ball well. There was one big play where we got him out, which was tremendous, but he had a big day at the plate. A.B. Saruya, their rookie, in short center field. I don't know what he's going to be offensively. He had a sac fly. He might be good, but he is a great defender. He's potential Gold Glove up the middle.
And might even play short.
Yes, he could be a shortstop. He could be a third baseman.
He has an arm also.
He's got a very strong arm. He plays a confident infield. He looks like he wants the ball hit him.
Yeah.
So he looks.
Yeah, you want to know what's funny? Looking at him physically, it reminds me of Goat Danziger in his prime. I don't remember.
I don't remember him in his prime.
Goat was like a little bulldog, very good shape, and he was a great defender and not much of a bat.
I was gonna say, I hope he feels like Goat, but hits like the other better hitters.
You know,
even though
top hard-nosed player, good Goat.
Yeah, I know. Everybody told me he was unbelievable.
Yeah.
He won because his defense was off the charts. But this kid, A.B. Saruya, has a future. He's a good draft pick. He's a good player. Benny Rishti looked really good at first base.
Oh, good.
He did. He looked like he could hold down the position at first. Now, great fielders.
Now, wait a minute. Were they missing anybody that Ben Ricci got a job
No,
at
they had
first?
their full team. They had their
So
full
he was the
12.
first baseman?
He started at first. Eric Greenberg was hitting.
Okay, good.
We only played one game, so they might have swapped at game 2, but we didn't have
Ben
a
Ricci
chance.
didn't play.
So
hit the
Ben
first
Ricci, I don't recall getting an at bat.
because he's really got some good.
He has some pop.
He's got pop.
Which funny, I think it could have helped him yesterday having him in the lineup the way the ball was taken off. But I would imagine they had him slated to hit in the second game, and we just didn't have a second game. My team, we only had 10, so my 10
Everybody played.
Yeah, so shout outs to Svi Volinsky. His first at bat in the YMSL with bases loaded, cleared the bases with a double.
Wow.
Hitting a shot over the center fielder's head. Were they playing him shallow? I don't know how shallow. They were playing maybe, but again, the conditions were tough. When you're hitting it over ABJ's head, that's not easy.
Yeah, he's a big guy.
He's a big guy. He could hit. He hit the ball hard. Shout outs to Joe Greenberg. Just continued his rampant hitting from last year. Ball comes off his bat. Oh, my goodness.
Saban also had a big
And
day.
our biggest hitter of the day was Michael Saban Solomon. He's down 35 pounds, and he's running around the bases. 2 doubles, a triple, and a home run. He was really taking care of business. He was killing the ball. The team worked. We clicked. Am I going to say everything was perfect? In a 15-12 game, I'd be silly to say everything was perfect.
How did Leo look after a couple of years?
So I'll tell you what, Leo hit great. He had 2 nice hits, 2 nice line drives. One was a double and another nice single. Leo threw first pick strikes, which was big. It was hard to have anything on the ball where we were. And like I said, the ball was taken off. Defense did let him down. We weren't, nobody was crisp.
Sharp, yeah.
Everybody, I'd say, to a man, Henry and Joey Eshko, myself, Salim, everybody was a little bit slower on the ground ball. And there was a couple of plays where people had trouble throwing the ball. Like I remember clearly there was a ground ball to third with a runner on first. Trying to throw the ball to second, the ball was thrown into left field because it just slipped and went into nowhere's land. Stuff like that was going on. So between the cold and the frigid, that's why guys were shivering. That's one of the reasons the umpires saw that and deemed the game, they canceled the game, and we have a makeup date.
Yeah.
So that's
we'll announce that in a second.
For the upcoming games. So again, we did pull out a win. A win is a win is a win, and we did it without 2 key cogs.
Believe me, in a win, you forget about the temperature.
Oh my goodness, it was great. Now, everybody took 20-minute showers and their Epsom salts and their heat and whatever it is. Some guys got banged up, but you know what? We'll all be back next week.
I would have to say, I mean, you've been elated, but in 25 years, probably the worst conditions we've ever played in.
I think this is the coldest I've ever
played.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been in the league for about 10 years. It's the coldest game.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some winds like rain, misty.
There's been nasty games.
Yeah, nasty days. But
nasty is not like this. No. This was freezing. There's in a night league one time in the fall, we played in a really cold game, I recall. But it wasn't raining and it wasn't slick. So this was probably the combination of the toughest.
Yeah, this was almost like a November night.
Yeah. Is everybody happy we played? I mean, I guess you got the games in is nice. Would we do it again? Let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. I'm sure the Orioles would do it again,
Exactly, they would. Some guys want to make it an exhibition week because of the weather, but I think not.
Yeah.
On to the future games.
Okay, so this week's upcoming schedule location will be announced shortly. Why don't we start off with Jimmy Malak's Orioles?
So
JT's Orioles at 2-0. No, this was last week's.
No, so the Orioles are going against myself.
Oh,
yeah. So you're looking at last week's.
Okay,
hold them up. I think I got it. But this week's, I can tell you, I know 2 of them off the bat. We can figure out the rest. The Orioles are going against myself.
So the Orioles against, that's a great matchup.
So that should be fun. We're 1-0, and they're 2-0. So there's something nice about that. Both teams are feeling good. JT feels like his team is just unstoppable.
Any key guys missing this week? Or?
So for me, there's nobody missing. I believe I have a full team. They all told me they're in. And JT has David Rishti coming back.
Yeah.
So he has a full squad. He's got to find time for, all his players. And he's got some late picks that he's very excited about, as we mentioned. His Kushner that is playing great, and these guys. So I'm excited for the challenge. Max Yedid looks great, they tell me. And bring him on. That's all I say. I mean, I'm not giving a prediction because
big matchups. So 2-0 versus 1-0.
Right, which is not a usual occurrence, but it should be fun. I'm looking excited. I'm excited for it. Do you have any idea where we're playing yet, or you don't know?
No, not yet. What's the other matchup?
The other matchup that I'm the most excited about, that I think regarding the buzz that makes the biggest buzz, is the Allie Marshall's A's are going against the Indians.
Yeah, that game might be blacked out.
No, that's a big game.
No, it's a big game.
That's A.B.
So
Cohen's
hopefully, be the
debut.
return of A.B. Cohen,
Right. That's
and
the
Malak. Now you have 0-2 against
0-1. So now you don't want to see a team that's in disarray going 0-4.
No.
So that's why this is a big game.
Yeah.
This is a major. This is a wild game. So looking forward to hear what's going to go on. And again, that's the question: what's Jimmy going to do? A.B. Cohen's back, has that team field. Billy Miz and John Eliezer with A.B. Cohen could be great. So that's a big matchup. Then the other two matchups, let's find out right now. It's 1 of 4 on the website. Let's schedule. Here we go. April 22nd. We got Dem Bums are going against. Wait, April 22nd is next week.
Yeah.
Right? So that's Dem Bums is the Dodgers, right? That is Jack Abadi's team going against A.B. Saka. Locked in.
Oh, that's a great matchup.
That's a fun matchup.
That's a great matchup. Wow.
That's 2 Sakas on the mound.
each other.
Right.
So that means Nabi is going up against.
That's a fun matchup to see.
And Naby's going up against who?
The last one's going to be Nabi Z-Pack against the Ducks.
Okay, so that's another big game. Oh, that's the Ducks are in a tough situation.
They're
now.
in a tough spot.
0-1 going up against.
So you know what? I'm
Naby.
gonna.
So let's start off.
Predictions.
Let's start off with. Let's start off with your matchup. So now we said.
I can't predict my matchup.
I know. So it's going to be Raw versus
my team is going against Jackie Towell's.
Okay, so Raw versus Orioles. Great matchup. I see. I think the Orioles are going to come down to earth a little bit, not get swept, but I see a split in this.
So I always say we got to make a rule that you're not allowed to call splits, but you're not going to do that.
Well, but then
so you see a split. Okay, I hear you. I'm gonna. Rely on my team and love my team and say we're going for 2. So I'm not going to predict anything else. So looking forward, it's going to be a lot of fun. It should be a good matchup. Always fun playing against the Jackie Towell team. The other game, I'll give a prediction. Z-Pack against Z-Pack
versus
against
the Ducks.
I'm predicting Z-Pack to win 2.
Well, actually, some of our listeners have called in and saying Navy might have a no-hitter in one game.
So I gotta say, one thing about the Ducks, 12 runs were different, and I will say that the lineup they hit. Some guys hit. And I mentioned names, and I just played against them yesterday. Only one game, but Jigga Jamal hit the ball hard. Jacob Cohen hit the ball hard. But I do think the back end of that lineup, Navy could have some fun with. I do think so. If he's and if he's on, forget about it. It could be really tough because Henry's batting 4th in that lineup, and Henry's great. But if Sonny's not going to be roping the ball against Nabi, and the guys behind that almost negates the Henry.
What's ABJ hitting, second? Or
ABJ, I think it was Irwin 1, ABJ 2, Joe Eshko 3. I might confuse that a little bit, but that was basically it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good start. Yeah.
No, they have a great start, but then you have Henry 4, strong. Sonny, who hit great yesterday, but is he going to hit Nabi strong? Sonny 5. And then you have, after that, Jackie Zolta batted 6.
Wow.
Not an easy guy to pitch to. And he actually hit well last year in the World Series against Nathan, but he's not always noted to be, a big 6-hitter. And then you have Eric Greenberg, who's a rookie. He's a big boy. He could hit, but he's a rookie. Saruya is a rookie again. Maybe Jacob Cohen.
Right.
How's he going to fare against Nabi?
I mean, it's not. You really have nobody like. You can come up there and
clock one.
Yeah,
that's the.
You're gonna have to scrape a lot of hits.
Correct. They're gonna have to use their speed in a big way if they're gonna beat Nabi. Try to take 2 bases every time, and that's why I'm picking Nabi's team to take 2. And if there's ever a question, Nabi's team, everybody's question mark on them is offense.
Right.
Tuna is not bad, but he's not locked in yet. And I could see these guys, putting up some runs on him.
I agree with you on this one. I think he's going to rebound from week 1. Not that he had a bad week, but I think he's going to continue and maybe give up just 2 runs on the day, something like that.
If he does that, I wouldn't be shocked at all. So we're both calling a sweep.
Yeah,
so the Ducks got to prove us wrong.
And
sorry, guys.
I mean, they've done that in the past. But 0-3, you don't want to start.
Well, it's a tough way to start. I wouldn't be nervous, but they have a nice, solid team. I just think they ran into Navy at a bad time.
Right.
So early in the season, people aren't as warm. I'll tell you, last year, first 2 weeks of the season, I don't remember getting a play at shortstop. By week 3 and 4, I started getting a lot more plays. I don't know if we started pitching in more or just people swing starting to get a little bit quicker.
Now the extended forecast for this week is like only 49 and sunny, so
Hey,
50,
that's
so
like,
it's not really.
It's not amazing, but it's Palm
Yeah.
Springs compared to yesterday.
Yeah.
So
So maybe maybe might be a little
okay.
cold. So
Now we have one other game we did not predict
no,
yet.
two.
Oh, two games. I'm sorry. We got the A's, Alley's A's against the Indians.
Yeah.
So
So
I
this
can't.
game you were looking forward to. You said.
Yeah, I can't pick a split. So it's easy to say split, but I just can't do it. So I'm going to pick the A's to come back and win too.
Really?
Yeah, I am. I think their lineup, A.B. Cohen's going to come.
It is a great lineup.
It's a strong lineup.
Sure.
I think A.B. Cohen's a great pitcher, but it's his first week of the season. I don't know how much he was warming up. I don't know how often he goes to the fields. I think he's going to get there. Game one may be tight. And game two, I think Alley's team is going to run wild.
Also, big question mark now is Mo Malik going to come this
That's
week?
another reason. I was going to mention that. I
don't
think
know,
he's
it's
missing this week.
again for sure.
I don't know for sure. I heard he was supposed to
This
show
might
yesterday.
be a bachelor party action.
I don't know what it is. So I don't know. It could be a long hangover.
So that's not a pleasant. And Jack Jamal once again is going to be out.
Is that true?
Yeah,
Really?
he's away.
Wow. So missing. So this is tough.
So hopefully ABC finds a scarf this week and shows
and
up.
he's ready to play.
You know,
because they will have 10, and you could win with 10. And they do have a formidable team, but I'm predicting Alley's team to come back strong.
Yeah, I mean those two guys are missing. I don't care. A.B. Cohen's he's gonna have to pitch 2 shutouts.
Oh, A.B.'s gonna have to be on his game if they're gonna win, and that's one of the reasons I'm saying I think Alley's team.
I agree with you.
Oh yeah,
all because the lineup is very strong. I don't think he's gonna be able to shut that lineup down.
I'm thinking that, and it's week 1 for him.
Yeah,
he didn't get his. Like I said, I don't know how often he's throwing, and
And now, honestly, Malak might rebound with it's not a strong hitting team, and it's
correct.
So he might. I think every week he's just going to get stronger. So I think.
So I'm predicting that sweep by the A's. They're going to be 2-2.
Yeah,
is my
I
prediction.
believe it also.
We miss any other?
One game left, which is Dem Bums versus.
Oh, the Saka game.
Oh, so you have Locked In versus Dem Bums.
That's gonna be a fun game. That's probably the game a lot of people would want to watch. 2 Sakas against each other, maybe against Jeffrey on the mound,
and 2 really the preseason favorites to go.
Guys like them up there.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna call A.B. Saka. I think that team felt complete, and I think they had more of a. I think early in the season with that team, I'm gonna pick them to win too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm going that way.
With the sweeps.
Yeah, of course. I only go with sweeps because splits are no fun. I go splits. It's like everybody's like, yeah, it's boring.
No, I see. I see both. Again, it's going to be nice, low-scoring defensive games.
Yes, I see good defense. I'm curious. Let's see what Sal Fallis is going to do against A.B. Saka. He hit, maybe went deep.
Yeah.
Let's see what he does there. And again, Jack
played short center. I
think he played 1 game in short center, and then he DH'd 1 game. And there was some defense.
Right.
That was shaky up the middle at one point, and there was some rumbling a little bit. He wanted to play the field. Let's see what they do. I mean, we have 12 guys in a team. Everybody's got to find their way in, and it's not easy.
Yeah.
It's one of the challenges that the captains have, especially when everybody shows.
So, Ned, we mentioned I think Roditi should be coming back this week.
Roditi's back, so that's a big advantage.
That's a huge advantage, even more reason.
Back for that Jimmy team, right, for Alley.
So I think these two teams are so well balanced, and I think I see a split here also. So
easy to say a split.
Yeah,
I'm saying 2 close games,
yeah.
but I think A.B. Saka's team is going to pull it out. That's my prediction.
Yeah.
And that's it. I think they have some more. I mean, both teams are veterans, really.
Really, not great mix. Just a nice,
both great teams. I just have to pick one, so that was a coin toss.
Yeah, and let's announce we have a makeup game, and we're all excited about this because it's actually back to a Friday game. Shavuot Eve.
Right.
Friday, May 18th, I believe.
May 18th at a 4 o'clock
4 o'clock game.
4 o'clock start. 1 game only. It's a 1 7-inning game, so it should not take forever.
So it'll be the Ducks against Raw at May 18th, and they'll figure out how to make up the other game.
Right. They'll work on that, whether they have to play a 3rd game in a day when the weather gets a little bit better. We'll find out. But we're excited about that, of course, weather permitting, like everything else.
Yeah, it's,
and that's it.
It's good to be back on the air after a year off, and after 6 months actually, and
looking forward for a lot more craziness, and that's what we expect.
Simple
as that. Have a great night and enjoy the week. Can't wait to see you Sunday.
Good luck. Take care.